Hello, hello.
Hello. Sorry, I was looking at the gorgeous ass view back here. Welcome everybody to Roses Are Red podcast. We are here with beautiful Sam I am, and AC is going to pop in. We have a special show tonight, and we are actually live in
Las Vegas.
exactly.
I feel like
We
we're
are
so close to this.
right. So I was looking at their view. They have a gorgeous ass view down here, and if you guys haven't stayed at the Circa, come stay at the Circa. It is amazing and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And let me tell you, it's only 21 and up. There's no kids allowed, which is the best thing.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a show
Yeah.
of Ted Bunyan. I was gonna say
Binion.
Binion. I was gonna say Bunyan.
So we are down on historic Fremont Street, downtown Vegas. It's amazing. We're at the Circa, and literally next door is the Binion. But most people don't realize the controversy that came with Ted Binion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, so it's a very interesting. So we have that for you, and we also have some cool historic things. And so also please make sure you do your research. Don't take our word for anything that we say. It's just things that we look up, and we do our research and bring it to you, and for you guys to do your own research. And we'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, and what you think about these stories. So please let us know. Tonight we're not taking voice recordings because we are live from Vegas.
We are. Hello, Tiffy.
Hey, Tiff. Yes, we are live from Vegas. So we have a special treat for you guys in store tonight. So I do apologize. We're not taking any voice recordings on IG, but it's because
it's a little different podcasting from a hotel room.
From a hotel room, and
I mean,
it took a lot of preparation to get to.
I mean, okay. First off, we're live right next to each other.
We are. I mean, this is crazy.
We're meeting in real life.
Yes, and just to let everybody know, we actually just touched bases live with each other a couple hours
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a month ago, right? You knew you were coming here.
Yep.
And she's like, Rose is like, I'm gonna be in Vegas on the 8th. And AC goes, you know what? You guys should come out. And we're like, fuck yeah, let's try it.
Yep.
So
here we are.
You extended your trip another day so we can hang out. And here we are in lovely Las Vegas together. AC and Dave are on location at Binion's. We'll bring them in just a moment. But how fucking cool is this?
It is so exciting. And you know what? Let me tell you, I was so nervous to meet you.
Same.
I was like, what if she does it? What if what I see on camera is not, you know what I mean? I'm like, what if she goes, oh, what the fuck's wrong with her?
You're exactly how you are. And I am so happy to
am too.
Met you in person.
I know. I'm so blessed. And you guys have no idea. And this is just all uphill from now. Because guess what? We don't know where we're going to go next. Maybe Omaha. Maybe you never know.
I mean, come in the summer because it's not so shitty. It was snowing today in Omaha.
Oh, really?
Yes, it snowed. I got a text from Taryn, who's watching our dogs, Taryn and Nanya, and they're like, there's snow on the ground. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful here.
I know, it was really warm when I arrived because I was in Seattle and I flew in early in the morning, but it was raining. Mm-hmm. But the day before it was snowing.
Yeah.
But Seattle's so bipolar weather.
Yeah.
It's so bipolar. I was like going, it was rain 1 minute, the next thing it's snowing, and then it's sunny. And I'm going, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, I'd like to take my grandkids for a walk, but I guess it ain't going to happen.
Right. My mom grew up in Seattle.
Oh, really?
And so we visited there a lot when I was a kid. And we went to Ivers on Pier 76 or whateper. Ivers Fish Market. It's so good. We spent a lot of time. Thank you, Tiffy. It is so exciting to be.
It is.
Yeah.
And in person, like who would have thought?
I know.
We started this back in October, November. Mm-hmm. And look at us now. We're in person and we're hanging out and we're doing a live here in Vegas. And like I said, look at this background, guys. Check this background out.
I mean, this is the view. If you look straight down from our room, it's the pool area. It's called the stadium pool. It is literally set up like a stadium, and it's got all the sports things. I mean, I like football. I follow things, but it's pretty stinking cool.
And you know what? There's no one in the pool. That's what I was looking at before when we started. I was looking at the pool. There's no one in there.
There's just a few people.
Just
now would be the right time to go down. Now we're just doing a podcast.
But we wanted to make sure we came and said hello to you guys and let everybody know where we're at, what we're doing out here, and hopefully you guys enjoy this show. And it's been a crazy week for both of us because you had a whole bunch of stuff going on with you.
Yes. I've been traveling all week. Yeah.
All week I've been traveling in and out of the state, going from one state to another, but it's been crazy. And I'm so happy that for the next 48 hours, it's just party.
Yeah.
We're going to
gotta do this little thing called a podcast, but but then we get to go, enjoy Fremont Street, and we'll go up to the strip for where you're at and everything. So it'll be great.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting. And I'm telling you, this is like, I can't believe I'm here in person with you.
I know.
This is like the most exciting thing ever. Like, I'm going to meet them. I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm so nervous to meet them. What if he's like, well, what if you guys don't get along? So then my head started going like 100 miles per hour.
How do we not? I mean, we've been doing this for a little while now, and we absolutely get along. But you're right. In real life, you're like, are they going to be the same person? Is it exactly how it is? And it is.
It is.
I'm so happy. I mean, I already feel like your family.
I know we're family. You're stuck with me for life.
Yes,
it's done.
I'm so excited about it. So tonight we are actually going through the life of Ted Binion.
Ted Bunyan.
Bunyan. Bundy, whatever. But the Binions are higher-ed Reds. So we are we're going to go through that, and literally one hotel down from where we are at that way, I believe.
Yes.
I'm really bad at directions. I usually say I'm the wrong direction, but I believe it's right that way.
Right that way.
Is Binion's Hotel, and they're a staple here in Vegas. They've even it was Binion's Horseshoe Hotel, and now they've taken Bolly's and turned it into the Horseshoe again in homage for the Binions. But there is a lot going on. I didn't even realize about Ted Binion and the controversy and between his father and him and everything. And in my head, I was thinking when I was starting to read about this had to have happened, when my parents were kids. And come to find out, I mean, this came to fruition in 1998 when I graduated high school, for Pete's sakes. I was like, hold on. He's, this happened in my lifetime. I cannot believe it. So, it's kind of interesting, I think.
Very interesting story.
I think when we think of things like this, sometimes we always think it's like in the past,
Or it's because Vegas is so, I mean, I don't want to say it's old, but it is. Vegas is so old, and there's so much here. I mean, you've got a lot of the casinos that dealt with a lot of,
it was built on the mob.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I even have family ties. My family's Italian, and I have a great uncle, Joe, who's since passed years ago. But he had right behind us here at the plaza. You can't really see it, but he would come. He would travel between. He lived here, but he would come back to Omaha, and he that was the mob tie between Vegas and Omaha, which is kind of insane. Yeah,
that's crazy.
My kids think my dad isn't in the mob. He's not, but I can tell you, my great, my grandfather and not my grandfather, but his brother had some mob ties, which is kind of insane.
Crazy. Who would have thought, Sam?
Yeah,
who would have thought?
Whatever,
And
the gentleman who used to own the plaza actually was from Omaha, and
really,
he had some. He would put Nebraska memorabilia in there. We went in there today, and they're like, "Oh, he sold it," and we're like, "Oh,
okay." He's not tied to the Nebraska killer that we went through.
No,
crazy woman. Crazy woman there. But yeah, no, I mean, Vegas has so much history, and if anybody's never been here, come check it out. Vegas is a place. It's like I've always called it's been my playground
Yes.
because it's literally meant for adults to play around and
Yes.
hang out and slot machines. And
I couldn't imagine bringing young kids here. You know what I mean?
I used to come all the time. I used to come before I met my husband. I used to come all the time. Pretty much every weekend we'd come up and hang out here and gamble. And then before that, my parents would bring us up, but they would bring us up because we have family here in Vegas.
Well, that makes sense.
And so we would come and they would drop us off at, my uncle's house, and then they would take off and do their adult things. But I loved it because there was never, back in that day, there weren't kids. And I remember too, I just remember my mom carrying these buckets of quarters because back then, now they have paper tickets.
Yeah.
And
it's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Before you would put in your little quarters and go ting, 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 ting.
Exactly.
And
what is going on here?
And
sorry, technical difficulties, folks. Bring us up before. Okay, we're gonna bring AC up, and I am Dave. Pardon me. I'm still fighting a battle of being sick, but they are live on location at AC. You're up. Oh, we can't hear you.
No, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
Now
yes.
I can hear you.
No, you can. Just takes a moment. Let me get both in here. How about now, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey.
Hello.
Awesome. Hi. How are you?
Hello.
I'm just
AC,
I just
can you
woke
tell
up.
us where you're at?
I just woke up here. I have no idea. So welcome to fabulous Las Vegas, my hometown. Well, my hometown of Miami, but relocated here. This is going to be an awesome show. I'll tell you what. Number one, I'm standing in the street. Number two, Dave is behind the camera holding it. So everybody, clap it up for everybody who's making this possible. As you can see, we are at Fremont Street, the Fremont Street Experience. If you can get a shot over here, Dave, you can actually see that we are at the famous Binion's Casino, which is actually a landmark and a staple here in Las Vegas. And if you can see this sign right here, it says Loose Sluts, which is something that we really enjoy. There's some sluts here that we really enjoy.
Love it.
But if you can see down here, you can actually see that it's the entire street is Binion's. Over here is the Binion's Cafe. So you can see it's right here on the corner where the Four Queens. You got the D and the Golden Nugget, and then of course Binion's, which is one of the hottest and most electrified corners in all of Las Vegas. So of course there's the Strip if you want to be bougie and go to the Bellagio, check out those fountains or whatever, but that costs money. What we do here as a native and as people who actually know what the fuck they're doing, they come to Fremont Street to hang out, talk to people, mix it up, and kind of see everything. You guys see all the lights? How are you feeling about that?
That's
pretty dope. Pretty dope. So we get to see this all the time. However, today we're going to talk about kind of the underbelly. You guys have watched a couple of Roses or Reds, so we know that we're going to talk about crime. We're going to talk about some shady shit. We're going to talk about drug addicts, buried treasure, all types of shit. So if you guys are ready, let's take a quick look inside of Binion. So we're outside here.
Let's do it. And AC, can you tell us a little bit Binion, what was he about?
How did they get here?
Oh, absolutely. See how it says the Hotel Apache at Binion's?
Yeah.
So back in the day, let's start with Benny Binion. Benny Binion is the patriarch of the Binion family. Back in Dallas, actually, where they're from, just in outskirts of Dallas, what they do is they had a cattle rustling and cattle kind of like slanging business, if you will, right? So they were in the cattle business. They were
rustlers?
You need a mule? We got you. You need a mare, whatever the fuck you call a horse, right? We got you. However, that wasn't enough for good old Benny, right? So Benny got into the mob around age 18 and kind of changed. He moved over to El Paso. He met the wrong kind of people. And in doing so, he built quite a lucrative business of underground gambling, right? So he built a business of throwing dice, of throwing cards, all types of stuff that you would find here. They got their leg up in Texas. Now, when they came over here, and the reason why they came over here is because around 1946, Benny Binion was really not only in the mob, but also connected with the DA. He was connected with sheriffs. He was connected with people who were elected officials in that area. Now, in 1946, they kind of lost that election, and he lost his DA that was in the pocket, and he lost his sheriff that would, kind of sweep everything under the rug, look the other way for underground casino industry kind of things. So once that happened, he said, we got to get the fuck out of here. And actually, the town itself was like, we're going to come and kill you if you don't leave this place.
Now, how old was he when he came here?
He was like 30, mid 30s, right?
Okay.
That was going on for about a decade. And then, good question. And then he, what he did was he got his family and he got his Cadillac. He was the kind of guy who would wear like mink coats and hat and like cowboy. He was cowboy to the brim, right? However, with this newfound heat on him, he needed to get the fuck out. So what he did was he put $1 million in cash into his Cadillac. He put his family in there and drove out to Las Vegas and started a new life. A couple things didn't really pan out right away. He tried his hand at investing in a couple of casinos that didn't really pan out. But when it really panned out was around 1951 when he bought the Apache Hotel, right? And he also bought the El Dorado. And the El Dorado was 2 adjoining buildings. And once he made that into like a gaming super complex, over 77,000 square feet of gaming floor, which was unheard of at that time and just a real landmark. You're really making a statement with that. So once they did that, they really became the legends of this town. Kind of, there's a couple of them. There's Sam Boyd, right, from the Boyd family, and then there's the Binion. So
now, what is the El Dorado Hotel?
It's adjacent. It was adjacent to here, and exactly. And when they put it all together, they got a huge complex of all, humongous floor, and it was just unheard of. Also, something that he was unheard of for was taking the biggest bets in Las Vegas. So back in the day, I think it was a $500 bet on roulette, and that was unheard of. $500 bet, that's like super yacht fucking money, right? So that's
big baller money, right?
yeah, exactly. Especially in the early 50s. So when he did that, he kind of set a precedent, and he made other casinos raise their bet minimums as well. So he kind of like forged and pioneered a new way of taking a bet in Vegas. So that's basically Benny Binion. So if you want to take a look inside, let's see if we don't get thrown out. Check it out.
And if you do, it's good TV.
It is good TV. Right, it is good TV.
Oh.
We have
that big thing right there. What is that?
This is the fish spot. This is where the prostitutes come and hang. When they get rode hard and put away wet, this is when they
have the barnacles taken off, right?
Exactly right. But yeah, if you look this way, quick look there, it says welcome to Binions, and obviously one of the staples here. Not as Friday night, obviously not one of the more popular.
Oh, cripe.
Looks like we lost them, but
have a little technical difficulties.
They will be back.
They will be back. If you can,
can you see those comments? I don't know if you.
Okay. Hold on. We got them. You're back now. Sorry.
One second.
Yep, you're good.
We're good. Can you hear us?
Got to reconnect for a second.
Live on set.
Yeah, he is live on scene here. So we do have a couple of comments coming in. We have Rackbound said,
yeah,
dude.
That's our buddy Mixoplex. He doesn't miss a show.
Oh, Mixoplex, hello.
Yeah.
We have the Real Slim Shady 37 saying hello off of Kip.
There he is. What up?
Rackbound or Mixoplex said AC did it. Question mark. And then we got that strike one, 2 more like that, and you lose your Miami card. We also have
strike one.
You could really use some more flashy lights, and then he also said I say slinging cattle. So AC honestly right there at the there at Binion's in the Apache hotel, that looks like the like an older part of it with the stained glass there, and it's pretty cool. We were there earlier today.
The detail in that
Very
hotel.
much the detail. Yes.
Yeah, the detail in that hotel
It's
is just phenomenal.
very old Vegas.
Yeah,
right?
old Vegas. Like you
Exactly.
get that feel of old Vegas.
Absolutely.
It
Especially
smells
when
of
you walk through it.
mahogany, rich wood and mahogany. Yeah.
Right. Yes, very much so.
So
Look at the ceiling.
yeah. If you want to take a look at the stained glass part here, yep.
You know, and this is stuff you're not going to see in the new part of Vegas. Like when
Absolutely
you go to
not.
different places, this is not stuff you'll see. In the detail work on the woodwork that they have around that hotel,
Yeah.
like the stairs going.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something that's intrinsic to here. This is called a track.
Yes.
AC's going to choose the signs and push the cart around. Maybe they'll give them a couple dollars to go here.
You'll see. Tonight, I'll make the money tonight. But yeah, you're right. It's an older part of Vegas. It's one of the more like it's the staple. It's how it used to look back in the day. Now it looks kitschy and kind of a little raunchy, and it kind of smells a little bit. But at the same time, you have to understand the history that was here. So that's the most important part of this. And yeah, you're right. We went to the Flamingo today, for example, and we saw a lot of stained glass. It's going to get imploded pretty soon. So hopefully Binions stays around for a long time. However, someone who didn't stay around a long time, check out this segue, was one of Benny Binion's kids, right? So Benny Binion had a couple kids, but most notably Jack and Teddy, right? Ted Binion
but how many kids do you actually have? Do you know?
There's a girl involved too. I think there's 3 or 4 because there's a sister. Yeah, so 4.
Yeah, two sisters, 2 boys, I believe.
Exactly. So
in Vegas.
Yeah. Yep. So hopefully we can walk around here a little bit. Once I finish this part, we'll take a little walk and we'll try to be a little inconspicuous. We're going to look like tourists, but and try not to expose one of the owners of this place as a black tar heroin addict. So yeah, it's just a little thing. So actually, let's talk about it here before they throw us out. So one of the kids, Benny, around early 90s into 1995, Benny was having a real problem. Now Benny, I'm sorry, Benny was the dad. What Benny did, let me finish up there. What Benny did was actually bring us something incredible, which is the World Series of Poker, right? That was nothing before Benny Binion. So he decided to bring that. It was called something else. It was like the Western Card Club or something like that. And he turned it into what is now the World Series of Poker. What's on ESPN The Ocho at all times. So yeah. So after Benny did all that, exactly. So into the 90s, right? It's about 1995. Benny Binion is worth about $73 million. He's set. He is a casino mogul. He's a casino boss. However, he had a dark secret. Homeboy was addicted to black tar heroin. Now, he liked to smoke it because he said, you know what, I'll never OD that way. Right. So, the man had his demons, you know. However, he was so in the life, and he was a mathematical genius even. It got kind of handed down from Benny that, you know, he was really great at cards. He was really, everything that was in the life, everything that this place offers, he was all about.
He knew house odds before they knew house odds, right?
Exactly right, yeah. And that's pretty much how they're set, because somebody's got to set those odds so somebody can entice enough to make a bet, right? When I bet on football, I know somebody's going to win, but by how much, right? And those odds are intrinsic to betting. And like I said, he set those odds even higher here. So going on with the dark secret. What's up, David? Okay, so going on with the dark secret, I see it. So around 1995, he was really in the depths of it, man. He was going to the Cheetah. He was going to all these different strip clubs to, I don't know, fill the void in his heart. Shit, I've been there, right? However, you don't find love in the champagne room. That's what I heard in the song. So he actually spoke to a young girl from Southern California. Her name was Sandy Murphy. Sandy Murphy would end up being not a fun time for him. So the girl was beautiful.
For a minute, right?
Young. Well, yeah, for how long, right? And it was pretty quick. It was pretty hot and heavy. It was like, he was like, I don't want to be anywhere you're not. Now, she was making costumes. As far as like she is concerned, as far as her relationship with the strip club that he was frequenting, she was not a topless dancer. She was a seamstress. So once you can wrap your head around that, if you can believe it or not, right? There's a couple of incredulous things happening here. So he kind of whirlwinds her, you know, move in with me. I don't want to be anywhere you're not. And suddenly she's living in his $2 million mansion off Palomino Lane in Las Vegas, which is a super lucrative place, right? So he is going through it. However, she doesn't know he's a struggling drug addict. And obviously, anybody who's been with that kind of relationship understands that it gets kind of messy. So there could be some abuse. Those are allegations. I don't know. But imagine as a woman living with a guy who is always dope sick, can't please you. You're going to find other things to do. So let's check this out. So here, as you can see, there's Jack Binion, one of the brothers, obviously attending the World Series of Poker with legends, right? This would bring in millions and millions of dollars. Here's one of the early winners, Hal Fowler, of the World Series of Poker. So money was rolling in. Money was never an issue, right? Everybody hear me okay still? Oh, I think I'm off. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Sorry, we were muted.
Oh.
Sorry, we got you.
There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah,
Yep,
this is basically the gang here, all the way from Benny's when he first bought the horseshoe and made it Binion's horseshoe. So there's a ton of history here.
Very much history.
Questions, concerns?
No, I mean it's amazing. Wasn't it Brunson that was part of it? I think one of those pictures has Brunson in there. The World Series of Poker guy.
Yep, Doyle Brunson.
Always wore the cowboy hat.
Exactly right.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Yep, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we're live on the street. We're putting this together.
This is amazing.
So yep. So some of the early winners as well. We're talking about late 70s, early 80s. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. If you notice, that's called Benny's Smoking Barbecue, right? As in Benny Binion.
Looks amazing.
This is one of the best ones. This is the Binion family
now,
back
is that
in.
Brick on the wall?
It seems like it.
That's
Yeah, actual
brick on the
stucco.
wall,
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be actual. Yeah, it could.
Is it faux or?
It could be wallpaper
or
from
real?
IKEA.
I was wondering if they kept the original.
It feels real.
Hotel.
The stucco feels real. The stucco feels real. But yeah, that's a shot of the Binion family coming over. Back in the cattle
Texas,
rustling days. Absolutely, yeah. Coming up from Texas. It was a suburb of Dallas. So
Okay.
let's walk through the casino. Let's talk about this outside with some glitzy lights.
Let's do that.
And
honestly, to kind of tell a little bit of it, Benny Binion in 1964 regained full control of the horseshoe after previously selling interest to cover his legal costs in defending himself on tax evasion charges, hence the reason he came up here to Vegas. Since he was a convicted criminal, Benny was no longer allowed to hold a gaming license. So his sons, Jack and Ted, aged only 23 and 21 respectively. So they were young kids, took over the day-to-day operations of the casino while Benny remained on the payroll still, assuming the title of Director of Public Relations, right? Jack became the president of the Horseshoe. And while Ted became a casino manager for the next 30 years, So this happened in 1964. So again, Ted at this point was 21 years old. Can you imagine being the casino manager at 21 years old?
21, I was having kids.
I mean,
I know, me too. I wasn't.
He knew more than anybody else, right? He was a mathematical genius.
Right. I mean, he was very, very smart in this. So he was the face that most seen during the peak evening hours of the Horseshoe Casino. Let's see here. And became well known as the host of its poker tournaments, such as the World Series of Poker. He loved living the high life and partying, schmoozing, and with high profile guests at the Horseshoe, and flirting with attractive women. It seemed like that might be his downfall. Where are you at, Racy?
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't like, I can imagine, for example, having that in front of you, right? So you have $1 million in cash right in front of you.
Right. I mean, look at that.
Right.
I mean,
You have 73 times that access right there. So a couple of,
now, if you let people know, you can actually touch it, right, AC? You can go back there and touch it and take a picture.
You guys want me to touch it?
You just can't take alcohol.
I think you should.
Yes.
I think you should go touch it.
I think this should be a Roses Are Red exclusive if you going and
there he is.
Oh cripe, we lost him again.
And remember, folks, we are live in some of the casinos. The Wi-Fi is horrible.
Right. I mean, they are live on location. Couple of things while we're waiting to get them back. Binion actually, Ted Binion, whom we are talking about right now, was arrested in 1986 on drug trafficking charges. And began drawing attention for his connection to organized crime. Figure Herbert Fat Herbie Blitzstein. The Nevada Gaming Control Board also suspected that Binion was using his live-in girlfriend, Sandy Murphy, who we spoke about, as a bag woman, meaning she was smuggling balloons of heroin, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Estranged wife and daughter to pack up and move back to Texas. What is going on here? Our road is not working, I hope. Sorry, guys. Again, we are literally live on location here. Let's see if this works. Let us know if you can still hear us. Hopefully,
we bring our entire equipment to Vegas.
Yeah. Thanks to Rose. We actually brought a couple of mics as well, but Rose is providing our soundboard here as soon as we get AC and back. But and they may just come back up here. But just to kind of tell this story about Binion. But what I found interesting is. Sandy Murphy had said she wasn't really a stripper. She was just making costumes. But
so that's what we're calling it.
Yes, I mean, she just carried the watermelon, I guess.
That makes sense now. Now I can honestly say with all the girls walking around down here.
I mean, they just make the costumes, right?
Costumes.
I mean, and there are plenty of girls down here in costume. So in 1996, the Nevada Gaming Control Board, the GCB, they banned Ted Binion from any management role in the Horseshoe. He had to undergo, and he also had to undergo regular drug testing because this man had a affinity for the heroin. I do find it odd that he did smoke it rather than intravenously using the drugs.
Happened to you don't consume your own.
Right. I mean, exactly. If you're selling it or whatever,
that's what I was told.
You don't do your own supply, right?
I don't know, but that's all I was told. I don't know about all that, but I was just told
it's in a lot of rap songs.
Yeah.
I think that's where I heard it.
I think I'm Britney Spears.
Yeah. I don't know from personal experience.
Yeah. I don't know anything what you guys are talking about. I'm pleading the fifth on the corner over here.
So he was also banned from the casino's premises, which I find, I mean, the man's name is on the
It's everywhere.
marquee, right? The Binions is the name of the
And he was
casino,
banned from it?
and he was banned, right?
Why was he banned?
Well, for drugs.
Oh, well, yeah.
He struggled to avoid running afoul of drug tests, and at one point, he shaved all of his body hair in an attempt to circumvent hair tests that would reveal his history of usage. Could you imagine shaving all of your body hair?
Okay. Just wondering if he was related to the doctor story we just did last week. To remove all your body hair.
I mean, eyelashes, eyebrows.
Oh, you know how weird he must have looked?
He would look like, I hate to say this, like a cancer patient, or looks like maybe we have something here. But guys, can you hear us? Hello? Hello? Sorry, folks. Thank you for joining us and understanding that we are literally live on location here. We are seeing it looks like they're right outside of our hotel right now. But
yeah, literally and like I said, the Wi-Fi down here it's not the greatest. It's really bad. So we do apologize for that.
Well, that didn't work, but so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's tell this story. So yeah, I mean, could you imagine?
Can you imagine being banned of your own casino?
I hate shaving my legs and other things. Could you imagine shaving your whole body just to
even your eyebrows?
I mean, you'd think he'd like Nair was out at that point. You'd think he'd Nair it or something, or
I'm trying
wax.
You know what? I think they used, back then they probably used those razors.
Oh yeah, like the ones that you do like
for
when
the beard.
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
Can you imagine doing that?
Oh my gosh. Did he hire somebody for it? He probably had enough money for it.
I just want to know what girl did it. That's what
Sandy probably did. She's like, oh. One of the things AC was saying earlier was that when he met Sandy, he's like, yeah, I'm Binion. This is who I am. And she's like, really? Show me. Let's go into the casino. He goes, I can't. Because they banned him.
I can't. I'm banned from the casino, but I'm Binion.
But I am he,
Take
and
my
he
word
is
for
me.
it.
So he did shave all of his hair off in an attempt to circumvent those the history of drug use. In May of 1997, his gaming license was suspended when they found that he had violated the drug testing agreement. I mean, he just could not stay away from the drugs, which again, I understand in a way. But having all of this power and
plus maybe back then, I don't think they had the rehab centers and stuff like we have now.
Right, it's not as much. Yes, I agree.
So I think back then, it probably was a lot harder to get help, like if you wanted to get out.
When you're a millionaire, you're like, I don't have a problem. I'm fine. How many people do you pay off to say, oh, you're good?
You're good, no problem. You know what? Yeah. Here's some more.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if he who has the money has the power, correct?
Well, and you know what? We see that a lot in a lot of the, we've got a lot of music artists and we've got a lot of politicians and stuff that
Prince, it was
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis. Michael Jackson even.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the money, they paid the doctors, they, administered it. This was, street drugs, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Yeah.
It must have been much easier than what it is now because, I mean, now you got to get a doctor to get certain things, right? Or you got to go down to, a tunnel and around the corner. Back then, I can just imagine him just walking outside his hotel and saying, hey,
I mean, it is Vegas.
Yeah, it is Vegas.
I'm not saying, but I'm sure back then it was a lot more prevalent.
Yeah. Because, just imagine, like I said, we have a lot of now. I mean, even football players, baseball players.
Right.
And when you have the money, now we have to be, not we, but people.
Folks.
Have to be people with lots of money have to be hush hush,
right?
Because they don't want to get exposed or get their name out there. But can you imagine them that have all the money? They didn't care,
right?
They were just like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna walk outside the door, do a little line, and come right back in. You know.
And the thing is, I mean, people who are really smart tend to look to things like drugs to calm their brain. I mean, it's like, if numbers are always running, how do I stop that? How do I turn it off? I would assume that the heroin kind of dulled those senses, so he didn't have to live with it so much. You know what I mean? I mean, could you imagine knowing the odds before the actual odds makers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just insane and crazy.
Absolutely.
And we are going to
we're gonna take just a second and
off.
unplug it.
And AC has joined us. I'm gonna scoot over.
Let's turn down the headphones so we don't get feedback here. But this microphone's pretty hot, so sorry, folks.
This is how lives work. Do you want man on the street action? This is how it happens.
Yes, let's turn that out so we can all sit here. Look at us all together.
We are all together, and
look, we have I Am Dave here too.
There he is.
I'm not sure how much he's going to contribute to this.
No.
Perfect.
He was the cameraman, but we can see him here in the. I've got this here. If we need
Oh,
it,
perfect. So
here's where we're at.
I'm back. I'm back, baby. Snuck in the club.
We got AC here.
yes.
We're all here now. We were talking about how
the showgirls didn't kidnap him.
They tried. They fucking tried.
We were talking about how he shaved all of his hair off of his body to circumvent drug testing.
He did. So right around that time, yeah, you're right, ladies. Right around that time, he was getting real pushback from the gaming commission. So at this point, he's losing his license, and he thought the best way to go about this was to, I mean, if you're getting a hair follicle test, what are you going to do? Shave your shit.
You think there'd be a little bit of a better way? I was saying, why not wax it? I mean, that would hurt like a bitch. But
Kelly Clarkson
or Nair. Nair's been a
thing for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this
true.
was 96, 97.
Use those little knives for the beard.
That's true.
Yeah, like the old tiny.
The straight razor.
Yes, straight
I
razor.
trust you. I
Yeah,
trust you.
no. Can you imagine going down there and getting all that shit?
I know.
Spreading open. Hey, I trust you.
Hey, everybody.
We were talking about how Sandy, because you had mentioned to me earlier today, how Sandy said she only made the costumes for the strip club instead of.
Yeah, she wasn't a stripper. God help you. Blasphemy.
I mean,
a young girl down on her luck. So away from home, she's not stripping.
I know you listened to or you watched the documentary, and I have to say I was a little bit underprepared for this, but I found this interesting when I was reading this earlier that Binion was the target of a kidnapping plot. Do you know much? Can you elaborate on that?
He was so many times, right? Even back to Benny Binion, he tried to assassinate the people when he lost those elections and stuff before he left Dallas. Mm-hmm. He tried in El Paso. He tried to assassinate the guy who kind of like took over 11 times. So
mm-hmm. Who was it? Was Binion kidnapping someone? Because this must have been when he was. So if he was 21 in 64, he would have been 20. He would have been 23 or 24 at this mm-hmm. point. Was it a child of his that was going to be kidnapped, or do we know?
I think it was him.
They were trying to kidnap him. Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's the one that could be held for ransom.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
mm-hmm. Well, it's his kid, I guess,
the alleged perpetrator.
If the kids are worth it.
Cab driver and petty criminal was found dead and shot in the chest mm-hmm. At the base of Sunrise Mountain. So I thought that was very interesting.
Right over here, guys. Yeah.
I mean, if it was light, you could probably see it.
Yep. It's true. Good thing it's not, because you get all those twinkly lights.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat if you guys are if you guys can see what's behind us. I mean, it could be a little better. But we did the best we could here.
We did pretty great.
I think we did pretty fucking good.
I mean, there's some pretty great lights back there. I mean, I can see the Strat up there. I can see.
Yeah. I'm a little worried right now because I'm deathly afraid of heights and my back is towards.
I got you.
Thank you. Oh, you're gonna catch me.
I'll save your life.
You're gonna catch my fat ass from falling down.
Yeah, right here. So
I'll lasso you with one of these.
Y'all crazy. So yeah. I mean, he was talk about a guy being down bad. The guy was fucking down so bad by the time he met Sandy Murphy.
Yeah.
He was in the depths of drug addiction. And imagine you find a girl or somebody you like, and it's like the ray of hope that you need to continue your life, right? But in that,
his wife and child.
He was going through a shit divorce. Yeah.
She was like, "You found the stripper. I'm out."
Yeah, exactly. Right,
out.
exactly. And I think they were already going through that divorce, and then like in the depths of his like wallowing,
straw,
it was like, Sandy. But by the time he brought her home, kind of like a stray dog, it was over, right? And you can kind of tell like the machinations of a young girl who like found an older guy who's like willing to finance her entire life.
Sugar daddy.
Right. Her eyes probably got as big as fucking dimes, and she was like, let's do stuff together, right? Whatever it takes. I can
suck it up. And
suck it up and check out my old balls, right?
I can suck it up and fuck you if you're gonna take care of me. I mean,
I didn't say it. That's from a woman's perspective. So,
but it's true. I mean,
there's a lot you were willing to put up some old ass balls if you got money.
Look.
Yeah.
I mean, look at was it Anna Nicole Smith? I mean,
absolutely, of course, yeah.
Well, no, look at the Playboy girls.
Right,
Kendra,
with Hefner,
all
of them,
Mandy,
all of them,
yeah.
Yes,
but the three main ones.
Yes.
I mean, look at them.
Move over a bit, ladies.
Okay,
let's get a little. Yeah,
let's get a little close.
So Rose can get a little bit. Yeah,
yes,
there we go.
come on in.
Perfect. So.
I told you I was going to stay in the corner.
At this point, get back in your corner.
Nobody puts Rose in the corner.
Nobody puts baby Rose in the corner. But at this point, dude's down bad. So he's absolutely so in the depths that he can't perform sexually. I mean, in the beginning, I'm sure he was like all aroused and shit. But after 3 years, the guy's doing 12 balloons of black tar heroin. Your dick don't work. And that's just one of the things. This is a byproduct, right? Drink too much alcohol. Whiskey dick.
Right.
Do too much coke? Coke dick. Right? So so there we are. What is that going to bring? Let's talk about that. There's a guy named, the other part of this triangle, the other angle of this right? is
this love triangle.
This love triangle, this thruple, right?
I don't think they were quite a thruple.
Well, I think everybody knew it except for him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Right. So once this was established that Buddy couldn't perform, couldn't really do his manly duties, then one moves on. So he has a friend. When I say him, I say Ted. Ted met him in the bathroom of a steakhouse. If I know all of you have met your best friends in the bathroom of a steakhouse,
were they smoking heroin in there?
Well, that's where we all met.
Who is it?
Bathroom.
I met you guys in the bathroom of a steakhouse smoking heroin.
There we go.
The steak tasted great after that.
Snorting coke off the
Snorted, yeah. I was no longer hungry. So he meets this guy named Rick Tabish.
There you go.
Rick Tabish is the third part of this. And you know when you think you have a girlfriend, but your girlfriend has a boyfriend? This is that right there. So,
she goes, "Oh, your dick works? Okay.
Yeah. Are you 33 years old? Sweet.
You're not an old man.
Do you own a construction company?
Sure.
Bet. Do you owe $300,000 to the IRS? Awesome.
I can fix that.
I got a man that his balls don't work.
But he's worth $73 million.
The times our allowances every wrinkle. Goddamn.
Yes,
Goddamn right. That's 3,000, 6,000, 9,000. Cha-ching. So, I mean, how do you guys think about like that avenue? Do you blame her for one being with a guy that we don't know the machinations. Was he abusive? Maybe. Was he just dozing off all the time? Probably. But like, can you handle that? Like, is that something that you would handle for the money?
You know what? I don't blame her because what if she was on hard time? Like, we don't know her side of the story, right?
She was on hard times.
So she was on hard times.
Yeah, she was making dresses for strippers. Yeah, she was down bad.
No, she was stripping.
She was stripping.
But she had the ruse of, oh, I'm a good girl. But I mean, I don't think I don't know. I really don't know her all that much, but
she's a young girl.
She is a young girl. She goes, I really don't have a whole lot going on. Here's this dude who finds me attractive, who wants to be with me, who, whatever it may be. And sure, I'll sit on his lap and pretend like I like him. And then, you know what I mean?
Not enough.
You know what I mean? And then he's lavish. I mean, I don't know. She probably had I don't know. This is me being the
what she had was Rick on the damn side giving her the treatment.
The ever optimist in me goes, I'll give him a little tease, and I might make it in this world. And then
she said she was in love. She says like we were in love.
Well, of course she did,
and we wanted everything together.
Of course she did.
So did Anna Nicole. So did
Of course she did.
Playboy.
And then she found
but
a
he
guy
wasn't
whose
92
dick worked.
years old. True.
And I'll still give him a little tease and sit on his lap and whatever. Who cares if he falls asleep from a heroin fucking high?
You don't have to finish the job.
I don't have to fucking finish the job, but I'm gonna go fuck this dude over here who satisfies me. I mean,
last 2 minutes.
Do I blame her?
I only have to blow sweet nothings into a flaccid penis for 5 minutes until you doze off.
She's taking advantage. She's using her best assets. And doing what she has to do to fucking survive in life. I don't know. Do I feel? I don't know.
I don't feel bad. I think she did what she had to do to survive. You're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in Vegas.
Stick around. We have actually Tiffy says it would have been exciting at first, surely, absolutely, because of the money and the cars and you bought her a convertible and all that shit. And then it goes downhill. So sure. And then Mixoplex says, are we going to watch AC score some smack?
Yeah, I didn't read that one earlier, but
I was about to. I was offered it a couple times, and I was like,
sure.
I don't want to go down the Binion route. I want my dick to work. So,
well, I mean, it is early still in the game. I mean,
the night's young.
The night's young. There's still time for this penis to go flaccid as fuck.
Vegas, I mean, nothing shuts in Vegas. Everything's open 24 hours. So you never know.
Except for your libido. It can shut immediately.
They can go one way or the other,
Yeah.
You know what?
Heroin's never made me horny.
A pill right down the street. I'm pretty sure someone's got one. We're in Vegas.
Yes.
Please let us know in the chat if heroin makes you horny.
I'm not sure it does anyone.
You sure about that?
I really don't think so.
Cancel the order. It was my DoorDash.
No more orgies tonight.
No.
Done.
It's over. Bring me the heroin. So there's several ways to do it. Intravenously kind of knocks you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Smoking it kind of, in my experience, I've heard.
Well, they said that he chased the dragon.
The chasing the dragon is what you call it when you
smoke it, right?
But it's also a big waste. Just fucking put it in between your toes like an adult.
Like a fucking bitch.
Like an adult. Come on. What the fuck are you doing? So
just take it.
To move this story along a little bit. You can see that they're having a whirlwind love affair of flaccid penises and convertible
I'm sure
Mercedes
he wined
Benz.
and dined her, though. I mean,
of course. When he was away.
He just couldn't bring her into his casino because, his
Did
namesake.
Did you say that part?
I did.
Yeah, that was fucked up. She trolled his ass. He was like, well, take me inside. He was like, I can't. How? Your name's on the fucking joint. Yeah, but
I'm a fucking heroin addict. And I had to shave all my fucking. How the fuck? Okay, here's the thing. She'd been with him for a while. She met him in the 80s, right? 86, I believe, is what I read on here. They'd been together for a while. And
no, this is 95.
Hold on.
95.
Whatever. Put your face
95 to 98 when
There we go.
It said. Hold on.
Sandra.
Wait, can we bet on this?
Sure.
Can we do a $5 bet? Who's right? AC
I'm right.
Or Sam? Bet.
It's here.
I'm willing to bet.
I'm willing to bet.
Let's bet. That's Benny.
No, I know. Binion was arrested, and then
for
he
drug
met.
trafficking.
Hold on, and then he met Sandra Murphy. Yeah, it said 86, and then right here. So I could be wrong. I could have read it wrong. But
You know what? We're all right.
It was in that era.
We're all right.
It was in that era.
Doesn't matter.
yeah, whatever.
The point is, we're gonna take a shot after this. It's not gonna fucking matter.
Yeah.
So, Binion is long dead. So we're just talking shit on the 33rd floor of a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's literally
it's right there,
right there.
and the plaza's right there.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Oh,
It's that way. It's fucking.
I
that
don't
way.
know where
Thank you
my
very much.
directions are.
Thank
I
you so
actually
much.
said that way
What's
earlier.
this, y'all?
That's rum.
Is your rum?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So
Cheers.
he met her, but then he fucking
Cheers.
shaves all his fucking hair.
Because he doesn't want to lose his
Right.
fucking license, which he did anyway. Fucking loser.
I
was
know.
about to
He
take the
fucking
shot,
did.
and they're still over here talking.
I mean, that's
It's a good
kind of
story.
who we are.
What
But-
happens in Vegas, baby? Sometimes it stays here. Sometimes your ass gets buried
She had
here.
to fucking pretend to fucking be attracted to the motherfucker and looking like a cancer fucking patient with all or having alopecia with no fucking hair because he couldn't stay away from
Did you guys
the
see?
smack.
Did you guys see? Walk Hard.
Wait.
It was like the John C. Reilly, the parody of Walk the Line.
Yeah.
When like there's like a beautiful hooker like on top of him riding him like this, and he's like he doesn't give two shits. That's probably what was happening.
Yeah, probably.
Binion sounds like a kind of pastry. Yes, I would like lightly crispy,
like a beignet.
a binion.
A binion.
Crisp me a binion.
It's a little beignet.
So bring me a
binion.
A binion. So in 1996, right? They meet, and then let's move it along. They had a storybook. At this moment, we've explained to you how beautiful this relationship has been. So when they get to the point that they meet Rick Tabish, which wants to go into business with Binion. He's all about it, right? He kind of sees dollar signs in his eyes, but he doesn't really see the potentiality of his girl, who he's not pleasing, getting with this guy who clearly has a functioning genital.
Well, and I feel like we should stop here for just a second and
Café con Binion. Café con Binion.
And talk about how prior to being exiled from the casino, he had in the vault of the casino silver bars, rare coins,
Anywhere
all worth
from $7 to $14
million of silver bars.
Well, because we're in this,
I find it funny that
we're in the silver
silver
state.
Not.
We're in the silver state.
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
there's a lot of silver mines in this.
I guess that makes sense now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why not fucking gold?
Just fuck gold, baby.
Because Vegas, baby.
Everything's silver.
He had rare coins. I mean, you said he was worth $73 million.
When he all said and done, he said it was $73 million. So prior to being exiled from the casino, he had it in the vault. But when they said you can't come back here, he had to do shit with it. In a panic, he grabbed it. And what would you do with it? You don't trust banks. You're not a normal guy.
Shit.
You're a fucking borderline gangster and you're a heroin addict. You're gonna put it in the equivalent of a mattress, which is
you're a Nepo baby.
Bury it in the desert, right? So hire a guy who's eventually gonna screw your girlfriend.
Right.
To put it in the desert. So
bury it. He only Rick
Tabish.
Tabish, yeah. He had he was the only other one with the code to his vault outside of.
He said, "Bury that motherfucker because I don't trust anything and all that."
He's the only one who knew other than Binion.
So right up until September 16th or so, 15th, the day before the incident, the final incident, he calls his lawyer and says, "Listen, if I die, it's because of these two people." Because he figures out that, obviously this is not working and my girlfriend's getting it from somebody else. So when he figures all that out, he says,
he's not dumb.
These people no, absolutely not. These people are going to try to get me. If I die, it's because of these people and not because of anything else.
Now, did they have children?
Oh, no, they were just going. No, they were together for 3 years, boyfriend and girlfriend. He could barely get it going. How is he going to father a child?
In that way,
right?
Her? I mean, just kidding.
I mean, that's how most women do.
Anchor baby. Right?
Oh my gosh, she didn't even,
Put on.
Keep talking.
No. Your headphones?
Anywhere.
Keep going. Okay, great. Thank you. So,
sorry, Dave's interrupting our shit.
No, Dave's trying to make it better. And God bless him.
He found him.
So once he puts this out into the ether and he says, these people are going to fucking kill me because he's just paranoid, he's drugged out, he's strung out, all those things. The morning of September 17th, 1997.
Right?
Yeah, I did
or 8.
I did the short on that. Bring up the YouTube short I made.
Is it 7 or 8? I think it was 8.
It was the 17th. I remember because 17th.
1998.
17th is my number, right?
Yeah.
So they were together for about 3 years. 1998.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, no, they aren't in there.
Oh, I don't know.
He wakes up dead, or doesn't wake up at all.
He wakes up dead.
He wakes up dead. Go with that. But
so
right before he scores
was...
12 balloons for you heroin aficionado. 12 balloons of black tar heroin were acquired the day before. He said, "I didn't kill myself. These are." So really, if you're trying to do that, you're convoluting the whole situation by bringing drugs into it.
I mean, he could be selling them.
Now, mind you, we're not talking about balloons that are.
He's trying to flip some balloons to make some quick cash.
He had been gone on drug trafficking. I think he had gotten. I think he was selling them. I mean, if you're rich, you just want to be richer, so you're gonna fucking sell shit too,
or give it
but
away.
Give it away now. I would never give away my heroin. That's just me. That's expensive.
But I mean, you don't make money getting high on your own supply, right? We talked about that earlier.
Biggie Smalls, one of the best things Biggie Smalls ever said. But
which is odd that he got high off his own stuff, because normally
he didn't make it. He probably called somebody. He's like, "Hey, Hernandez, give me some of that blue magic," and somebody bought it.
Right.
We're not talking about balloons, like that you blow up. We're talking about
literal balloons, and they put it in a balloon,
but they're small,
right? Enough to put it up your ass.
Yes.
So
I mean, and Sandy was a mule for him, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She got tired of that life. She wasn't down with that shit anymore. No. So really, who has the motive here? So you have Rick Tavish, you have Sandy. They're together.
They know where the fucking shit's buried. At least Tavish.
Rick knows where the shit is.
Yeah.
He knows the combination.
Sandy's like, I'm fucking you, Tavish. We should probably kill him.
And Pussy's king, so you're gonna do whatever I say.
This is me surmising on what happened. I think what happened was Sandy is in Tavish's ear, and she's like, I'm giving you the fucking the puss. And sorry.
The JJ.
I know. I'm giving up the shit here.
Say nothing. Say nothing.
You are happy because of this pussy here. And
you are happy. You are happy. Yes.
You know where the all the fucking money's buried.
Right.
So let's come up with a plan.
That's called a motive.
Yes, it's very much a motive.
Very much.
He's not been satisfying me for years. I've put up with all this shit. Let's fucking get
He's gonna die anyway. I mean,
he's gonna kill himself anyway,
and
not on purpose. He's gonna fucking dope himself and.
Right. I mean, it's obvious.
Dope himself into being dead. That's not a thing, but it is a thing.
Dope himself dead. Dope yourself up.
He is going to OD at some point. Let's just hurry this fucking process up.
Right. So right now we're at a crossroads. We're thinking, all right, so he could either have blown himself up with 12 balloons of heroin, which he smokes, and it's really hard to OD.
On smoking it would be hard.
Dr. Michael Baden, which you all might know from HBO's Autopsy Show, right? One of the most, the United States' foremost forensic pathologist, was hired along with Alan Dershowitz later on. You might know as a lawyer in the news now, but what they did was
what?
This guy's a fucking mess, dude. I keep thinking about this shit.
Standing with the candlestick in the study.
yeah.
Yes.
It was the wrench in the kitchen with Colonel Mustard.
Yeah.
So now you have, like I said, you have two ways to go. You have either this drug addict that was definitely going to die, or people with a solid ass motive to kill somebody else.
Absolutely.
Now, right? You put it out in the ether and you told people, if somebody kills me, it's that. However, now we see ourselves in this predicament where it's hard for the cops to figure out what the fuck happened.
Well, especially with all the heroin, Xanax,
right.
and Xanax.
And Xanax, sorry.
There was Xanax.
The guy's doing fucking French fries and heroin. It's insane.
Yeah, Xanax. It was funny as I was reading through it. He was like, he did marijuana. He a lot of the time smelled like marijuana when he came into the pit to whatever. But marijuana, Xanax, and the street drug tar heroin.
I have nothing against the first one at all.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's not going to kill you.
But something interesting that they said also in one of the documentaries was like every time he got high, he turned into the old trope, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Sometimes you're high, right? Yeah. And some guy turns into somebody else. However,
was he nicer?
You want that, don't you?
I do.
He was not nicer. He was an asshole.
Jerk.
If drugs just magnify who you are.
They do magnify the person within that you're not letting out, right? I mean, when we're not high or drunk or whatever, I mean, not like we are. You know what I mean? When a person is not under the influence of a substance, whether it's alcohol or drugs, they are able to hide their true selves a little bit better. Correct?
It's the only way to kill the pain that lives deep within your soul.
We have to. They have to. I don't mean
to say the only way to numb the fucking pain.
Yes.
And you both know that, goddamn. So the cops show up, and there was a 911 phone call by Sandy, and Sandy was hysterical. She was she was really like, "Oh my god!" Usually we have some visual aids and maybe some audio aids to push you along. But
this is a little bit different setup.
this
here
is the
tonight.
only AIDS you get.
Yeah.
Right back here.
Right here.
So
And you know, and it was a very long time to get it to work this
yeah,
way.
and you know what?
You should have seen us fucking.
There's a fucking party down there. We gotta go. How long is the story?
We're close. We're so close.
So close. So close. So
we got
the
a
next-
party to go to.
So the next part, yeah, we do. So the next, and we're gonna interview a couple people downstairs.
Yes,
If we get the
stay
fucking
tuned, folks.
mics to work, we're gonna go
Yes.
man on the street because I saw a couple people downstairs just like, is this guy doing a podcast? I wanna talk to
I
him.
want on. I want to be
Right?
famous.
Not yet, fucker. Not yet. So in 1998, September 17th, the guy's dead, and the cops are just how are we going to tie these people? We kind of know that Sandy is in it for what she's in for, right? And we know that Rick Tabish is like a new addition, so this is the perfect way to get rid of these people, to get A, all the money in the desert, and B, somewhat all the money that he had left her in the will.
Mhm.
But the day before he died, he took her off the will.
Right. I remember seeing that his daughter got most of it.
Yeah,
but,
we changed it.
um,
Bonnie, I believe.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, how
which is-
mad could you be?
Oh, she'd be
You
fucking
did
livid, right?
All this
Here's all
shit.
the I tried to fuck you when your dick
Yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah.
I did all this fucking work, and then I tried to fucking kill you, or I did kill you.
And that didn't work.
I mean, and honestly,
how many things don't work? Your dick don't work. The death don't work.
innocent till proven guilty. Hold for that that little bit. But I mean, she's like, I've had this fucking plan to get all this fucking money. Dude knew where it was, and we are gonna dig it up. And then he was like, "Sorry, hold on, not you, my kid."
My kid. Yeah.
I mean, which makes sense.
I mean,
right?
as from
Well,
the kid's
and-
point of view, she's like, "Fuck you, Dad."
Yeah.
You give it to fucking Sandy. She makes all she does is a seamstress for strippers.
And then not to be on the will at the very end.
At the end,
Yeah.
The very end. It's great. I'd be some bitter ass.
the old
bitch.
switcheroo. That motherfucker's dead, so you can't say shit.
Yeah, and there would be nothing. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna relive your ass, bring your ass alive, and
Yes.
then-
Let me bring you back to life. Let me make you change the will, and let me kill you again.
I'm gonna shut your ass up. So, to kind of put this all together, what they're saying is, yes, he could have OD'd with that amount of heroin. However, the amount of heroin that he did on a daily basis did not constitute him overdosing, especially the way he ingested it, which was smoking.
Right.
So that was not a solid.
They had grounds to investigate.
Right,
So they
absolutely.
actually started to investigate it as a homicide, as opposed to an OD.
But there was two ways that they kind of explained it as a homicide, and that's kind of where the the plaintiff, the defense, the
Prosecution.
prosecution. Thank you. The prosecution kind of shot themselves in the foot because they got two different ways. You don't want to confuse a jury, right? So they got two different ways. A, they sat on his chest while he was passed out, and they coaxed him into smoking more and smoking more and smoking more. Because Dr. Marco Bod, remember the forensic pathologist we talked about, found marks around his mouth as if somebody was maybe covering his mouth to end him, right? You don't do that. Everybody knows you don't touch him. Yeah.
Right.
If you guys want to
Go to
know
sleep. Go to sleep.
how to put somebody away,
Just
do you-
grab the pillow, put it on. I mean, at
I
that
mean,
point,
right?
you might as well. I mean,
Right.
No bruises with the
Yeah.
pillow.
so there
Not
could-
that I know.
there could
I
be a
don't know
point
nothing
where
either.
people are like-
not that we don't know
people are
nothing.
like, come on, take another hit,
Right.
take another hit, and then
Which, I mean, really, once.
what's it gonna do?
Let me hold on.
More smoking heroin, more
But,
dragon chasing.
Well, and as somebody who's getting high, I
I'm
mean,
surprised he didn't shoot it up.
I am.
He didn't want to OD.
Well, yeah, he didn't, and
So that-
honestly, even though he was addicted to it, it's much easier to stop.
If you're smoking,
If you're
then
smoking,
if
then
it's coursing
you
through your
are-
fucking veins,
if
and
you
you
have
have
it,
track marks.
Yes, I mean,
can't
and
hide that.
honestly, he had a reputation to uphold, right? I mean, you're right. He probably
He
should,
fucked
he
that up
probably
so
should have
long
put
ago.
it through
Yeah, but
in
if
his,
you can't
his,
even go back to
his
the
toes.
casino, I mean,
But he still had all this fucking money. That is,
People
I mean,
doing
he
their
had he was the
necks and-
heir to the Binion millions,
Yeah,
right?
and what's it all for if you can't really step foot into your casino or place a bet? Because he was a fiend at throwing craps.
Oh yeah.
A fiend. So,
So one thing that they Sandy and
Rick Tabish.
Rick Tabish were actually convicted of murder.
They were.
In 2000.
Initially, yeah. In
I
2000,
believe. And then 2 years later, right? That's what I'm saying.
Years ago.
We were kind of talking earlier when you were out there or before you came on. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this happened in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Because you think of, I mean, there's Binions down this way.
Right there.
And in my head, or, you know, we all kind of think this happened well before my time. I thought it was old Vegas, you know, Sinatra days, whatever.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to bring in Benny too, so you can realize where they came from.
Right.
And why they were so like adept at like taking this life on. And trust me, you get $73 million, you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Hookers and blow are a thing.
No, it is. I'm surprised it was heroin, actually.
Yeah, no, I thought it definitely would have been blow.
Right. I mean, why not?
So I mean, I don't like any of that, but
never. don't listen to shit before.
I don't have any pad. I don't have a laugh track. I don't have a laugh track.
So they get convicted.
Yeah.
However, a couple of years later, I think in 2003,
Sandy serves 4 years in jail.
Right, but they appeal.
They appeal it.
So they appeal it.
2005.
And one of the things that they when the appeal goes through is they said that the prosecution should not have tried them together.
That's right.
And the reason they said that is because it swayed the jury for both of them rather than having them each have an equal trial.
Well, because also there was two different sets of charges. There was the murder charge,
yeah.
obviously with a motive intent to kill. But they actually found Rick Tabish and two other guys out in the desert digging up the hoard of silver. So there was a grand larceny.
Correct. But it was
charge
it
as
was
well.
and they said it was
I would have
not
waited a couple
skewed.
years and then gone back.
Nah, you're gonna take my shit. You know how hard I worked with my new girlfriend to get this?
I mean, I would have waited.
Most criminals aren't that smart, though.
And
I
they
mean,
always
there are
return to the scene of the crime.
Yes,
Always.
always.
Damn it! I'm just kidding.
Always. Damn it.
But
I gotta go back home.
the prosecution, the
Clean
prosecution
some shit up.
should have, tried them separately.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of what. And what did they? I apologize.
So they got retried.
Yes.
They got retried when Alan Dershowitz joined. Same guy who, if you're familiar with O.J. Simpson, if you're familiar with Donald Trump, if you're familiar with several, he is.
I know.
But if you're familiar with several underdog stories, Dershowitz is known for taking the underdog story, and kind of go for like if you're a rapist or a serial bleeper,
mm-hmm.
he wants your case for some fucking reason. Whatever his motives are, I guess money. So once that was retried, they threw out and they found and acquitted
on the murder charge.
On the murder charge, both Sandy and Rick were both acquitted for murder. However, the grand larceny did stick. So they ended up doing.
They had burglary and grand larceny.
Exactly.
Each had a 12 to 60 month sentence. Tabish was also convicted for the use of a deadly weapon.
Right.
Which he also got 18 to 60 months.
Right.
And Murphy was sentenced to
time served.
Time served.
Time served.
Time served. And did not
served.
return. So Sandy was scot-free after this, but Tabish did not.
Tabish was out there digging up the hoard, so he was grand larceny and all this shit because there was a conspiracy to take his money. If he knew where that was, why are you going to get it? Right.
So he was actually released on
2010.
Yeah, January 26th of 2010, when he was 44 years old.
Right.
Wow. Which they were ecstatic that he was released and things.
Who was?
He was.
The Tabishes?
Yes. He was very excited.
Years ago.
Right.
Actually, he was released on May 18th of 2010. But I mean, so 13 years ago, I mean, it's pretty
crazy.
Prosecutors kind of shit the bed on this, don't you think?
Absolutely. Well, they just didn't have enough. So, and like I said before, they really shot themselves in the foot when they took the two-prong approach. Either they gave the jury a choice. In the end, they chose correctly, in my opinion, the murder charge. However, it was undone really quickly with a really good, defense attorney like Dershowitz, who's going to find loopholes. So he did, and he undid that charge, even though she did 4 years, time served, so she's scot free. Rick Tabish is out in 2010,
mm-hmm.
and to me, in my opinion, I don't think they served enough time.
I don't either. honestly, I think she served way less time than she should have.
Yeah.
And again, earlier I took her stance of, yeah, I get it. I'd probably flirt a little, sit, play to my feminine wiles,
Yeah.
right? Of course you would.
Play to my gold digging.
Here's what I have. Well, as a person who, I mean, she came from
AC and see how this works.
Right. She came from California with nothing, right? I mean, they met in, was it 96?
A strip club.
Yeah. And she was a stripper and whatever.
She made dresses.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
She suffered already, and not like that whole time of having to be with this old guy. You know what I mean?
She made
that's
that
not
choice.
suffering. A lot of people like to be with
made
older men.
the choice.
Yeah, but I mean, she made the choice, but then she did the years, and then she didn't get what she wanted at the end. She never got the money.
Well, had she have not killed him,
but
maybe she would
But it
have.
was perfect. It was perfect.
Had she not fucked Rick Tavish,
Yeah.
maybe.
And remember,
he probably would have still left her in the will had she not.
And this would have been a lot more open and shut if that guy wasn't a heroin balloon banger. Because you're muddying the water by saying like, okay, well, this guy was pretty much going to be dead anyway. Here's a little tidbit that we missed. Sandy, the next day, there was a video taken of her, and as despondent as she was on the 911 call, thank you. The next day, there was a video of her going around the entire Binion house. This is the next day, mind you, kind of cursing out the Binion family, letting them saying this is that, these fucking people, blah, blah, blah. And for some odd reason, she went to the kitchen and there was a drinking glass, like a wine glass. And she did like a misdirection where she grabbed it and she kind of went over to the other side away from it and put that glass in her purse. Now was
there like poison that or did she put like the heroin in it so he ingested it instead of smoked it?
So all good questions. So why did she put a fucking dirty glass in her purse? This isn't 1991 Ponderosa. My aunt taking a ramekin. She loved to do that. So I'm going to take this cocktail sauce. Right? So
let me put all the bread in my purse.
Right. That's not weird at all. So that is when it started to unravel. And that's what perked everybody's ears up because they said, why? Why is she acting so erratic the day after? And why is she acting like she has to cover this glass up? What's in that fucking glass? Right. And I think that's when everybody kind of took the side of, oh, this is intentional murder.
Right.
Now, you get a good lawyer, you got some money, you live happily ever after, because now, to wrap this all up in a nice little bow, Sandy got some work done. She got some money.
Did it work?
Did it work? It worked. It worked. She's out. Oh, yeah. What about this? She's out. Right.
It's not working tonight.
Look,
folks,
usually animations
usually
happen,
the shit
all right?
works.
Sure. Trust us. So she got a little work done, and she married a pretty rich gallery owner, an art gallery owner.
So, I mean, that's her MO then. Let's
I bet this guy's a lot hotter, and maybe his dick works.
It probably does. She's
learned her lesson.
She's like, I'm going to get something out of it this time.
Yeah, dick.
Yeah, dick.
A working dick. Which is basically what I mean. Girls are simple too. It's not like they're really.
I mean,
Rose.
Yeah, all you had to use is a toy.
Rose drops the gems.
I'm just saying.
Rose drops the gems. Tiffy, there were also less opportunities for women in those days, so she grabbed what she thought was going to serve her best, and it failed big time. It fucking absolutely blew up in her face.
If at first you don't succeed,
put on a strap on.
Get a strap. If
at first you don't succeed,
there's so much shit now.
There's not enough Viagra in the world.
Well,
and there's Viagra now. I mean.
Yeah.
There was Viagra then.
Not as prevalent, though.
I
mean, he was rich, though. He could have had
Viagra. He could have gotten fucking, bring me African deer penis that's going to, make me strong. He could have gotten anything he wanted.
But it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like, it's not like
it wasn't as accepted back then either. It was,
but rich people live under a different set of rules. They have different shit.
It wasn't that
like
long
30 years
ago. That's
ago.
what I'm saying. He could have put a strap on. She could have grabbed, a toy.
Toys weren't as prevalent back in the 90s either. Let's be real.
What the fuck are you talking about? Them in dildos since the dawn of time.
Well, I know, but you had to order them out of a catalog. It was much more shameful.
Not in Vegas.
Probably right.
Girl,
but it was much more shameful.
It was more,
if you guys want to learn a little bit about the history of dildos and fuck machines, I did a midnight media.
It's good.
I did a Midnight Media on my podcast channel with Hot Donna explaining
Go back and look
the
at
first
it.
fuck machine if you guys want to check that out.
Well, but it's true though. I mean, up until even it's the last, let's just say 15 years. It's not been as accepted to.
Well, that is true.
It was more shame. I mean, I remember it being more of a novelty to go into like a sex store,
or
when they showed
a lot
up.
of guys don't have the fucking male confidence to introduce something like that
exactly.
along. You only know what's up if a guy can introduce that along with their
right.
Their sexual. I mean, if you can learn how to work with it, now you're fucking working. Right?
Agreed. I mean, I know you're wrong.
You know, it is not your adversary. It's not your replacement.
No, it's a tool to make things better. But it wasn't. It wasn't as accepted. I remember. Well, I mean, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, so I mean, I'm a Midwestern town, but there was one sex shop, Dr. John's. I mean, back in the day, and if you went into it, it was like, oh, shame. You know, you went into there and you giggled and you saw what was there, and then you thought, oh, maybe I wanted that, but I'd never buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
what's up, Tag Rider? How you doing? What's the Twitch stream? We have a couple of them. Roses Are Red podcast on Twitch. You can also find me on Midnight Media TV on Twitch.
Yes.
If you're down
and
with
I don't
Twitch,
think
but
we're on Twitch yet.
We're on. Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it. But yeah. Kickworks, also on all types of different media, Instagram, things like that. If you want to catch clips and
we do this every Friday night, folks.
Every Friday night, come join us. Like I said, we are live tonight
in
Vegas. All of us.
Fucking fun is this?
And
who's coming with me?
Yep,
that's right, Dave.
Who's coming with
that's
me?
Right.
And the Married Couple Podcast Wednesday nights.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, we got the Married Couple podcast Wednesday night. Then we have
Roses
Are Red Fridays. Who's coming with me?
Is a couple times a month, and we're hoping to preempt either Roses Are Red or How Was Your Day, just so we're not having an extra night on, you know what I mean? Or an extra show. We like
podcasting and we like streaming.
We
you guys,
do.
You can see.
Come find us. God bless. This place is great.
God bless. We want to go get drunk.
Yeah. Yes. You know what, folks? This has been so much fun. Actually being all together.
I love this. If you guys have TikTok live, I'm probably going to go live on TikTok on Fremont Street and mess around with, drummers and nuns and bikinis. And
we probably can't show that on TikTok.
It's the living world. How am I supposed to stop the living world from happening around me?
I don't know. You guys got shut down a little bit for cussing and stuff.
We did.
Thanks for joining, Jack Ryder. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
But thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us on another amazing Friday. Thank you too.
The culmination of this Friday was amazing.
Coming out, especially Sam that came all the way from Nebraska to hang out with us.
I came all the way from 10 miles away.
And thank you guys for being here. And like I said, if you guys want more of the story, go look it up on
No, I want you to have this.
Have a great night. Love you too.
Cheers.
We love you guys.
Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Now it's
there
time.
We go.
Now it's time.
It's
so that was the story of
Binion.
Right? That story of Ted Binion, the Binions. I hope you enjoyed the first part of it where I was man on the street there trying to do the best I could.
It was so good.
Can't wait to look back.
Sorry.
Can't wait to look back on that.
Put hair on chest.
Right.
Give us a follow. Share it out. Yeah. If you think that anyone that you know might benefit from crazy stories with a lot of cursing in it and some drinking, let us know, because that's what we like to do.
We love to research. We love to do the research. It's really kind of fun. I think, again, I love my Wednesday night show with my husband, but this is
different.
Can I say that this might be my favorite show?
No, you're not allowed to say that.
I'm going to say that, Dave. Don't listen. But the reason I say that is because
we're having some issues.
The reason I say that is on our
different.
show we try not to hit hot button issues, and it's lighthearted, and I do stupid criminal stories, which we kind of do here. But this, we get to actually really take a stance and go into the meat of things.
And figure out the why.
Do research, and I don't know. It's just so much fun. And I love you too, motherfuckers.
I know. Same
here. I love you too. I love doing this.
You guys are great.
Join us in the next couple of weeks. If not next week, we're going to have someone who's very dear to us, Tiffy, who's in the comments right now.
Hey, Tiffy.
Hey, Tiffy. You know who you are. We are going to do a deep dive into a 52-part TikTok that is out of this fucking
Not this
Yes.
one, but the following one.
yeah, the following one. We're gonna
Yeah,
need a breather.
What are
Yeah,
we doing next?
we're gonna need a
week?
breather.
Oh, I thought we were doing.
Oh,
Who's coming with me?
Who's coming with these next week? Sorry,
Next
guys.
week.
Dave might be knocking down someone's grandma.
No.
Yes, wife.
Yeah.
Yes, wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait to have you. You turn me on to all types of stuff, Tiffy, when especially in TikTok and things like that.
Honestly, Tiffy, thank you so much for listening to all of our shows and participating and being just one day we're all gonna have to fucking meet. It's gonna happen.
Our true crime sister.
Yes. So much love it. But yeah, next week we'll do a Who's Coming With Me.
Yep.
Which will be really nice. I like doing them on Friday nights because we can let loose and
Drink and not have to worry
about working the next day
or
whatever.
about Dave saying we have to go to bed.
Guys,
That's
give
not
us
how
a follow because you never know this whole weekend where we're going to be live at. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us all a follow.
Give us a follow. I might go live on TikTok right now. Anything that I can go live on, I'm gonna go live simultaneously.
Absolutely. And follows are free.
Yes.
Fucking follow us.
Subscribe is
Follows are
free
free.
too, and it would be great.
Some motherfucker was like, I can't follow you. I don't want to spend money. I was
No. You don't have to spend money. Just hit the button.
No, just hit the button and turn on the
Please,
notifications.
for us
So
to do more of this together and fly
Yeah.
out and hang out with each other.
yeah,
more.
and let us know if you guys have some kind of a story that you guys want us to cover in the way that we do, cursing and drinking. We're totally down to do that. Let us know in the
Fun way to do
DMs.
this.
Yeah, send us what you got and we'll talk about it.
And on that note, peace.
We're gonna go
We're
get
out.
Vegas drunk.
Yes.